got one that can see.
So you know how they do the revelation of the method? They tell us exactly what they're going to do as they pretend to care about us. Here's Sam Altman of OpenAI.
One dystopia that I'm particularly nervous about 10 years from now is we overreact to AI safety. And so we say, look, everyone, you're going to get a cure for cancer. You're going to have material abundance, but you will have no freedom. You will have no agency. It will be a perfect surveillance state. There will be no privacy. And that's what you're going to get. You're going to get great comfort, but there will be nothing left in the world for you to really do, nothing that really matters. You'll just kind of live at the, service of the AI giving you material wealth.
Now here's what 6G technology has the capability of.
6G surveillance system will not only be able to see you through walls, I mean literally, they'll be able to see movement signatures through walls because the 6G infrastructure will be so dense. There's so many relay stations with the 6G that they'll have an active surveillance grid where literally real time seeing where every single individual is, particularly in major cities.
Now here's Palantir showing what their software is capable of. They don't quite say murder, but this is murder AI, and that's what they did to the Palestinians, and I think that's what they're going to do to you and I here in America.
This is Maven Smart System, Palantir's software as a service product that we are deploying across the entire department. And instead of having 8 or 9 systems for those decision makers to look at every single day in order for them to make decisions, you then fuse it into a single visualization tool. Look at different approaches to data, but more importantly, action. Once you have a detection that you want to actually move into a targeting workflow, for example, this is what we do. Left click, right click, left click, magically, it becomes a detection. This is standard digitized workflow, but I want to walk you through it quickly. You have different types of targets that are identified on the left there. Every single column produces a different type of decision-making process. Once you have that decision and you're trying to actually action that process, we now move into COA generation, course of action generation, where we are automatically, via a number of factors, trying to identify what the best asset to prosecute a target looks like. Once we've got the different approaches and we select one, we then can move directly into how do we action that target. So we've gone from identifying the target to now coming up with a course of action to now actioning that target, all from one system. This is revolutionary. We were having this done in about 8 or 9 systems where humans were literally moving detections left and right in order to get to our desired end state, in this case, actually closing a kill chain.
I propose putting an end to anonymity on social media.
You do not even have to have elections anymore because you can already predict, and afterwards you can say, why do we need elections? Because we know what the result will be.
What we are very proud of now is the young generation, like Prime Minister Trudeau, President of Argentina and so on, that we penetrate the cabinets.
People eat too much meat. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you will become allergic to meat. That's something that we can do through human engineering.
Why do you want to own a cell phone if you can just lease it? And if you lease, why shouldn't you lease your refrigerator or your washing machine or your dishwasher, or why do you want to own it?
Now imagine the situation in 10 or 20 years when an algorithm can tell any teenager exactly where he or she is on the gay-straight spectrum.
In 10 years when we are sitting here, we have an implant in our brain. I can immediately feel, because you all will have implants.
Where are they traveling? How are they traveling? What are they eating? What are they consuming on the platform? So, individual carbon footprint tracker.
Humans are now hackable animals.
There's some really interesting research that we can plant false memories in the brain. People believing that they've been at Disney World with characters who are not Disney characters, taking photographs with those characters.
You see this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy all have one thing in common: underground bunkers, like multi-million-dollar underground bunkers. So here's my theory. Either they're lizards, and they just prefer it down there, or they're vampires and they can't take the sun, or, and stay with me, they know something we don't. Because look at what's actually been reported. One of them built a huge compound in Hawaii with a shelter underneath it, food stores, its own water, a heavy door. When people asked, he said it was basically a basement. That's some basement. Another one got himself citizenship in New Zealand after spending about 12 days in the country. Then tried to put a lodge on empty land down there. The local council turned him down. And one of them sat and told a magazine what he keeps ready: guns, gold, gas masks, medicine for radiation, a patch of land he can get to. These are not people who panic. These are people with the best information money can buy, and they are quietly buying somewhere to hide. One of them even had a name for it. He called it apocalypse insurance. Insurance against what? That's what gets me. Not that they're scared. Rich men have always been scared. It's that they're all scared of the same thing at the same time, and none of them will say what it is. You don't dig a hole in the ground for a maybe. So what did they get told that we didn't? And why do they all seem so sure they'll need somewhere to go?
occurs on a Sunday morning. My prophetic word